Hello, gamers. I'm Kevin. Thanks for joining. Here to play some Chromatic Cube Draft on Arena. We hit, we're in the top 25 right now. Season ends in 2 days, and as much as I'm interested in maybe climbing up higher, Cube Draft is out. So I'm playing Cube. I have 3 trophies in a row right now: red, green, blue, black, and green, blue. Let's see if we can get some more trophies. Either way, I love Cube Draft, so we're gonna have some fun. This format's especially fun. You get to play all your big splashy cards. KevBot, what up, dog? First comment, indeed. Nailed it. Ooh, this is an interesting pack. There's not a whole lot in it that excites me. How you doing, KevBot? We've got 3 trophies in a row right now. Seeing if we can keep it going. Alright, so I see Burn Down the House. That card's pretty sweet. I see Jetmir's Garden. That helps me play green decks. Cityscape Leveler seems okay. This is very much a rampy cube. But it doesn't have to be. Sometimes you can play some sort of control deck. Cityscape Leveler is pretty nasty. Yeah, you're right. Jetmir's Garden is fine. I like Burn Down the House, but I don't think I like it in Chromatic Cube as much. I might just take this Jetmir's Garden or this Overgrown Tomb. Overgrown Tomb, at least, can play Alanoir Elves on turn 1, unlike the Garden. I'm just going to take Jetmir's Garden. I don't really... None of the rares in that pack spells were all that exciting. We have Zealous Conscripts, we have Ornithopter of Paradise, Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn's kind of nasty. Shuts down a lot of powerful effects in this cube. I see Blasphemous Edict, and board wipes are cool, but I'm interested in doing some bigger things. Ornithopter of Paradise. This is some cool new art from the Jumpstart. Quite chromatic. I'm into it. Zealous Conscripts is rather nasty. Steals big things and kills your opponent with them. I think it's between Zealous Conscripts and Elesh Norn. I'm gonna take Elesh Norn. See where it leads us. I see the Iron Crag. It's nice to take cheap ramp cards in this format. Let's see, Saint Elendo. What's this do? All right, Saint Elendo's pretty nasty. When you play her, you're going to gain 4 life. You get to look at all 4 cards from her spellbook. All right. I feel like Iron Crag might be a smarter pick, but I'm interested in Saint Elendo. Let's see if we can play a big splashy white deck. All right, Tender Wild Guide. We like ramp cards. If we see them early, we take them. That's how Chromatic Cube works. That's how a lot of cubes work, honestly. The green ramp decks are strong, but especially in Chromatic Cube. And there's not as many cheap removal spells to get rid of your rampy guys, and people are focusing on doing their own thing. So you just want to get a bunch of mana on the board and go off. Cavalier of Thorns is fine too, but that's expensive. We want to take the cheap cards that ramp. Sun Titan's fine. Resto Angel's good. Maybe we can wheel that. Cultivator's Caravan does the trick. Not only does it ramp and fix, but it also blocks pretty well sometimes, and I've definitely killed people with it. Other things like Sabai Triome, Pull of the Mist Moon seems underwhelming. It seems fine. And it seems good with Elish Norn, but I don't know. I think I'd rather take Cultivator's Caravan. Saint Elend is expensive. Part of me wants this Triome, but I'm going to take the Caravan. A lot of red cards floating around. Perhaps we'll get pushed into red. Okay, Fecund Greenshell is quite a good card. I see Elspeth Conquers Death, and that card's pretty good too. But I really like the Greenshell. It replaces itself when you play it, and you can just go off. Ooh, Buried in the Garden. That's excellent. There is an Elite Spellbinder in this pack. That card's really good. And a good sign that white is open. I don't love passing all these white cards, but I mean, this card's fine too, but I'm just going to take Buried in the Garden. Season the Burrows seems good, but I'd rather kill things and ramp. Restoration of Iganjo seems to accomplish, or help to accomplish, the goal that we strive for. Bruce Tarl seems interesting, especially with our ability to splash red, but I like Restoration. It ramps you, it gives you a threat that your opponent mainly has to deal with. What does Mondrag even do? Nothing. Nothing at all. Zero text. There's something to be said for taking Mondrak, just so people to my left don't think white is open. But if we're ramping, I just want to play Cityscape Leveler. I don't really care about Mondrak. Get lost. Zealous Conscripts comes all the way around. Cards are really good. I'm guessing it's being undervalued here, but we're taking Get Lost. Red is certainly open, isn't it? I think I'd still rather have Touch the Spirit Realm. It's a good removal spell. Sometimes it saves your creatures too. And it's an ETB effect for Elish Norn. We don't have many things to combo with Resto yet, but I'd rather have that than Sun Titan. Sun Titan's just big and expensive. It's fine, right? I don't have any beef with Sun Titan. It just doesn't... Meh. It's nice to bring back fetch lands with. But we already have expensive things. It's definitely pretty good with Elish Norn as well, but Resto will be better, I think. Get to save creatures with it sometimes. And it's nice to have instant speed tricks in your ramp decks once you stabilize. Pull the Mist Moon wheels. Sure. Elspeth Conquers Death wheels. It's a good sign. Yeah, I mean, white's open. We saw that. Green is not nearly as open. We took all three of these cards quite early in this pack. We got all three, I guess 4 pieces of ramp within our first few picks. We'll definitely need more 2-drops, but we'll just focus on taking any green 2-drop ramp creature we see. This should work out just fine. Part of me wishes I had taken the Iron Crag over St. Elenda, just knowing we would have had an abundance of expensive spells. But this looks good still. A few good choices here. We've got Dust Animus, we have Atraxa, like the best ramp creature. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. 3-drop ramp. Reckoner Bankbuster. Atraxa is quite good. But the lack of ramp creatures we've been seeing, I'm hesitant to take that. So we don't even have any fixing for it yet. And Overlord of the Hauntwoods comes out on turn 3, occasionally turn 2 if you have any of the Llanowar elves. I see any of the Llanowar elves because there's an Elvish Mystic and something else. We have a good selection of removal spells. We're just going to need to get some cheap creatures. And Brimaz looks like a beater. Card seems good. We could take Throbbing Inspector because it's cheap. Yeah, Throbbing Inspector is probably a good idea. There's also the Skyclave Apparition. Excellent removal. Pretty decent with Restoration Angel. Our 3-drop slot's just looking heavy. Brimaz is... That's quite a rate. 3-drop 3/4 that makes extra creatures when it attacks. Maybe I just take that. Temple Garden. There's also Enduring Innocence. That card's quite good. Doesn't look like we're making a ton of small creatures, unfortunately. So Temple Garden looks like a good pick here. There's an ETALI if we had moved into red. What's this? Interesting. Yeah, Temple Garden looks good for us. Jetmir's Garden, Temple Garden, Buried in the Garden. We're going to have some thematic plays here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be very good to bury something in one of these gardens, because non-basic lands are like the only ones that get destroyed. Oh! Well, that's fine. I didn't mean to double-click that. Nexus of Becoming's good, though. Whoops. I probably would have taken that green-white dual land. Whoops. Nexus of Becoming is definitely a consideration as well, so we're happy to see it. Cityscape Leveler still doesn't fully get the nod. If this deck is a little bit more mid-rangey than we were originally planning. We have at least 3-4 ways to ramp. But only one of those costs less than 3. Seraphic Steed. Just leaning into the green-white thing. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. Seraphic Steed's something your opponent has to deal with. See if we can drop enough power on the board to saddle for. But yeah, I think this is a fine pick. Green-white's not necessarily what I aim for in this cube, but this doesn't look bad. I guess I'll take Welcoming Vampire. This pack kind of sucks. I could take a land on speculation. I play another color, but Vampire's okay. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken the Throbbing Inspector. Brimaz, I haven't played with Brimaz. He seems like quite a good card. I played with him a long time ago, but not in a while. All right, Guardian Idol or Exercise. Got to take Guardian Idol. It's ramp. We need ramp. Exercise is not a removal spell I would expect to wheel. Seems a little too good for that, but maybe we'll see it. Wow, what a pack. I guess Eternal Wanderer looks good for us. We're not making that many tokens. A couple, but Angelic Destiny. That card's pretty funny. Eternal Wanderer is actually a good card, though. Reckoner Bankbuster, probably not over a Dust Animus. We have some card advantage baked in here and there. I think Dust Animus is definitely worth taking, especially with our lack of 2-drops. Hello, Throbbing Inspector and Skyclave Apparition. Wow, tough choice. I think I should probably take Apparition. It gets rid of so many different things. Throbbing Inspector's good, but this format's not that fast. Enduring Innocence over this Clifftop Retreat. Maybe I just take ETALI. Enduring Innocence doesn't look that good for me. I just don't have that many creatures with power 2 or less. And if I can actually resolve an ETALI, that would be pretty good. Wonder how many more dual lands I can get. Past Clifftop Retreat and Sacred Foundry. Might be tough to get the other red I need for this. Selvala. Selvala is excellent. There's Angel of Sanctions here too. That card's pretty strong. But I'm pretty happy to just take Selvala and call it a pack. See what else comes around. Both of these white cards are really good. Gwenna. Gwenna. My girl. Yeah, Gwen is a good way of casting. That's funny. Power 5 or greater. All of these big things have 4 power, 4 power, 4 power, 4 power. But still, Gwen is a 3-drop that taps for 2 mana to play big creatures. And I have those. Probably take Gwen over that Intrepid Adversary. Ooh, an Avacyn's Pilgrim. Woohoo! Don't mind if I do. That's exciting. Wow, this is a pack. We've got Lumra, Wandering Emperor, Kogla, Scythecat Club. I think I'm going to take this Wandering Emperor because it's very good. Maybe we can wheel one of those big green creatures. I'm a big fan of Nissa. Big fan of Nissa. Hate drafting, Kevbot? Rarely in Arena. Very rarely in Arena. Because the chances of you actually playing against someone you draft with are very, very slim. It's possible, but the chances are very slim. So for the most part, no. But I have done it before. Occasionally a pack offers absolutely nothing that you have interest in. Titan of Industry. Virtue of Loyalty is quite a good card. We already have a bunch of expensive cards. Maybe... Oh, there's a Mind Stone here? Hold the phone. I'm just taking Mind Stone. You play with people you draft against in Paper Magic and in Magic Online, but not so much here. Yeah, that pack was loaded. I barely even noticed the Mind Stone. There were so many other good cards in the pack, but yeah, the Mind Stone is definitely what we wanted. An Ephemerate? No, we want Restless Ridgeline. That'll help us cast ETALI. We have a couple cuts to make. Possibly Nexus. Possibly Elspeth Conquers Death. Maybe Resto. We wield both Biza and Angel of Sanctions. I think I should take Angel of Sanctions. Removal's good. I don't need Elspeth Conquers Death in my life. It's fine, but I don't need it. Palladium Mirror over an Intrepid Adversary. Or a Mana Confluence. I don't really like Palladium Mirror that much. It's kind of expensive and it just dies. I'm going to take Mana Confluence. The other thing is I have tons of playables, so I don't really need whatever else was in that pack. I don't even remember what it was. Palladium here. I guess I could have taken Intrepid Adversary because it helps with Seraphic Steed, I guess. I don't know. Nah. I do like Nexus of Becoming. I might try to fit that back in here, but we still need one cut. And we've got a bunch of wheels, I'm sure. White's open. We've been getting good cards late in these packs. I guess Restoration's something we can consider cutting, and Touch of the Spirit Realm. Cameo Field Researcher. That art is pretty sweet. So I'll take Archangel of Wrath. I have the Mana Confluence. I technically can activate both kickers. There we go. Kogla on the wheel over a Scythe Cat Club? Sure. Bunch of white cards, but none of them are very exciting. We have a couple cuts to make, but I do like the way this looks. What to do, what to do? First strike, lifelink. Looking at the removal that we have, looking at the ramp, looking at all the stuff. Yeah, I think it would be weird for me to cut any of my 2-drops. I have good removal, so I don't really need Kogla. It is something for Gwenna to cast, which is nice. And I do have a number of... No, I just have one human. I technically can fight 2 things with it, but it's hard to fight 2 things in one turn and still survive. I like Static Net just a little bit more than Pull of the Mist Moon. 1 more mana for an easier casting cost and 2 life and a Power Stone. The Power Stone actually matters for a couple of our things. Embalm this, ETALI's effect, a few artifacts. Is Restoration the worst card in the deck? I think probably. I mean, it is a solid 2-for-1 that also ramps. Seraphic Steed does look kind of weak. Just don't like the idea of cutting a 2-drop. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best way to do it. And then let's maybe play one more forest. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more forest for the sake of Nissa. This one drop. Feels wrong to cut that. I guess Touch the Spirit Realm is cuttable. I do have a good number of removal spells. I don't know if I actually need Touch the Spirit Realm. Ah, that card's good. Alright. This is the deck. Let's play it. Adjustments can be made, but I like what our game plan is. Ramping into ETALI is a fine game plan. And I want to put every card in my deck that allows me to do that faster, so cutting Restoration wouldn't make sense. Helps me put more lands on the board, helps me draw more lands from my deck. Keep. This hand's great. No creatures in hand to get value from Selvala, but she is a body. What's this cost for? How much gonna beat down? Exactly what I'm gonna do. Because I can still tap Selvala for 2 and play this Guardian Idol. Get in with the manland again. Hmm. One, two, three, four animates this. Attack for 7. And then I'll play this and keep up Get Lost. Your opponent's at 1. Let's see what they come up with. Oh, wow. Casualties of War. That's amazing. I'm 1 mana short of dropping Wandering Emperor, plus 1ing, and then attacking for 5. So I'll just pass with the Emperor up. Still in a pretty good position. This is awkward, but if I play this after Vorinclex is out, it only gets 1 counter when it hits the board. No, he can attack. I can exile Vorinclex. I can get lost Pock. Get lost Vorinclex. And then probably attack. Good game. Good game, Jack Marty. All right. Game 1. The start of a trophy. Starts with 1 game. Can this be our 4th trophy in a row? Oh man, I love Cube. I played green for only 3 out of the 4 decks, so I can do other things. But green is the way to be in Chromatic Cube drafts. It's nice that there's cards like Mind Stone and Cultivator's Caravan so that you can play other colors and still do the rampy multiple colors thing. Our opponent's just playing removal.deck. Ah, it's a good one to steal. Come back wrong. Pretty sweet. Hellish Norn isn't my favorite thing to be holding down the board against a black deck, but it does shut down a lot of black cards. I just imagine he has some sort of spot removal for it. That'll do it. Faith's Fetters the Planeswalker. Gain a bunch of life. Make a 4/4. Saint Elenda is pretty strong. That's not what I expected to see out of 6 swamps in play. A Golos. What's going on here? Alright. Alright, Forsaken Crossroads, I see you. Perhaps our opponent has other colors in their deck after all. Perhaps. Get rid of Golos before our opponent does anything tricky. Send in the squad. And then I'm just going to play Cultivator's Caravan. I'm a little afraid of playing into a board wipe, so I don't really need to drop this Avacyn's Pilgrim. Make it another 4/4. That is most certainly not a board wipe. Next turn we can Offspring this Wild Guide and blast in with the squad. I'm not nearly as afraid of a board wipe any longer. That's why we hold on to our Avacyn's Pilgrim. There we go. Make that for 6. We'll blow this up. I think I'm fine with the stab wound being there, because I just win. Boom. Puzzle solved. Good game. Alright, 2-0. Next. Next. This is a risky keep. I'm scared. I'm keeping it. We're taking the risk. This is a risky keep. But it's not like I have that many 2-drops in my deck. What do I have? 6 cards that cost less than 3. It's not a good sign. Heyo. Return behind because that was a tapped land, which I don't love. It's like we're about to get a spell countered. Our opponent's really excited about it too. Gwenna. Mirari's Wake, nice. Our opponent's doing some shit. I'm gonna do some shit too. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Pay 2 life. Skyclave Apparition. Take out that Jacob Hawken before he gets any free spells. It was a risky keep, but I saw the potential amount of mana I could produce, and I liked it. I'm not going to threaten the Skyclave Apparition with First Strike from Wandering Emperor. He has a bunch of mana. They would have gotten Wandering Emperor countered. Ooh, double block. Triple block? Alright, I'm cool with that. Really couldn't have worked out all that much better. We'll just take out the Guardian Idol, and then our Gwenna survives. I'll take it. Now Overlord of the Hauntwoods is in our hand. So we can cast it again with Gwenna. I like that. We get another forest from this for Nissa. Oh, go for it. Yeah, tap your creature. Selvala. Pretty good. Also happens to be rather good. ETALI resolve. Sure will. There's a lot of lands on top of my deck. 4 lands off the top of my deck? Crazy. I don't need the offspring. So I could get rid of that Agent of Rafine, or I could give Gwenna more power. Probably just exile Agent of Rafine. I don't think my opponent's life total is low enough to justify me letting them keep a card draw engine just to deal 6 damage. If our opponent takes the Wandering, or whatever, the Super Emperor, I don't know, one of them. The Eternal Wanderer. Ah, there it is! There it is! If our opponent gets that, they get to put us into a pretty rough position. What are the chances? Wow. Took Elishnorn and Eternal Wanderer. That is pretty brutal. I guess I could just get rid of Silvala. I don't know how much longer the Wandering Emperor is going to survive. Jeez. Some pretty lucky top decks from our opponent, specifically from the top of our deck. It was a good keep, and our opponent got real lucky with Agent of Rafine. What can you do? Opponent got a little greedy and tapped down an attacker. I don't think there's any way to get our Eternal Wanderer back. They had to take the 2 cards that shut down our strategy. Eternal Wanderer did it all by herself, really. Elishnorn did not seem to matter. Yeah, that was boring. Good game. Agent of Rafine. What a brutal card. Our opponent only activated it 3 times, and they got Elishnorn, they got the Eternal Wanderer, and what was the other card? Something strong. I was crushing my opponent. They got very lucky. They took the Eternal Wanderer off the top card of our deck. They had a 5% chance of getting the 1 card from our deck that could beat us, and they did. There's only 1 board wipe in our deck, and they stole it from us. Doesn't look like that'll happen this game, since it's in our hand already. Wow, that's big. This may seem a little aggressive, but it also lets me play the Eternal Wanderer next turn. I don't want him to get any free lands off the top of his deck. Alright, now I can make this thing. Seven mana. I'll plot the Dust Animus. And pass with Cultivator's Caravan. I wish I could have played it, but I got to keep up this Wandering Emperor for Rada. A 2/2 double striker does not win against a 3/3 first striker. Does not even trade. Is our opponent going to Field of the Dead? That would be cool. Right into the Wandering Emperor. Make that a 3/3 with double strike. And then attack. Probably want to take care of Golos. I don't want my opponent casting 3 free spells next turn. Wait. Keep our Mind Stone untapped. So we can draw a card. What will our opponent do? Casualties of War? Just blow up our shit? Land, enchantment, artifact, creature, planeswalker. No. They can't do that anyway. They don't have double black. Alright, I'll sacrifice a Mind Stone. They don't have double white. I don't even know if Settle the Wreckage is in this format. I would imagine. Might be. Our opponent's roping us a bit here. They might have Sublime Epiphany. But if they choose to bounce touch the Spirit Realm with it here, they don't... Yeah, I don't know. They don't get to make a copy of a creature, they just get to bounce something, and if it is touch the Spirit Realm, I just get to replay it. Probably bounce the Dust Animus. Then I just get to attack in for 12 or something more. I mean, I think our opponent's dead. But it's cool. Okay. Yeah. And good game. All right, we're 3-1. Kresan. Well, this hand I will not keep. Oh man, no green mana in this? Well, I don't want to go down to 5. No green mana in the first 2 hands. I have like 11 green sources. But I think this is probably better than going down to 5. Hey, look. I don't want to offer a trade with my Guardian Idol. I don't think that would be worth it for me. I will be tempted to sacrifice this Mind Stone for some more action. Touch the Spirit Realm might save our Selvala. Depending on our opponent's plans. Sure will. I'm actually going to sacrifice the Mind Stone now. We did it! We did it! How about that top deck? That's awesome. Alright, ETALI. What you got for me? Wow. Some beaters. That was pretty sick. Good game. That's why we pick 10 ETALI. It was pick 11 ETALI. All right, 4-1. This looks passable. Nothing to play the first 2 turns. No ramp. It's not a very good hand, but it does have lands and spells in it. We don't want Young Pyromancer to make anyone ones. Okay, our opponent gets 2/2. We're going to take a Mind Stone and Gwenna. Our opponent kills Gwenna. We play Elish Norn. Our opponent doesn't kill Gwenna, so we just get to drop Saint Elenda. Nasty. Yeah, I don't love this, but it's okay. Suppose I could have just made the 3-2. But Gutter Dweller gets big. It's not going to do much against St. Elenda. St. Elenda is so brutal. Though your 7-drops have to be, don't they? That's not enough to kill all these creatures. Not even kind of. Boop, boop, boop. Maybe I should have killed my opponent's Hedron Archive in case they had Star of Extinction. Good game. Alright, we're 5-1. Cube is amazing. Ramp into big things, ramp, ramp into big things, ramp, ramp into big things, and win. If I just drafted ramp for the rest of the day, I'd be happy. We'll probably do more than that. But there's a non-zero chance that we only draft ramp for the rest of the day. This hand is strong. What is that? Never seen this before. What? Crazy. Well, I say we do something about it. I much rather would have played Mindstone and then next turn played Cultivator's Caravan and plotted. But I don't want my opponent just getting a free Sanguine Bond for that attack. Make him work for it. Make him kill my 2-3 if they want that shit. Not happening. Well, I mean, it might happen, but not for free. It's a scary looking bat. Looks like it's got caviar attached to its fingers. But I suppose those are supposed to be droplets of blood, as opposed to the stream of blood you see in Sanguine Bond. He's soothing the bloodstream by turning it into little cute droplets. Bloodberries, if you will. Bloodberries. I really don't like Elenda Saint of Dusk. That's what I think. So what I think is I'm gonna let Elenda Saint of Dusk connect once, and then Saint Elenda is gonna put Elenda Saint of Dusk in its place. Yep, yep, yep. Yarp. Faith's Fetters is a fine solution to Elenda. And then I pass. The upgraded version, the perfected form. Wow. How kind of our opponent to just give us a target for our get lost so we can just Faith's Fetters something else, or I don't know. So many options. Oh, or we could just play ETALI. What if we do that? What if we just play ETALI and see what happens with that static net in the near future? Ooh. Okay. All right. I see what's going on here. It's brutal. Oh, ETALI. Why you do these things? ETALI just cast Nissa and Path to Exile for free. You know, sometimes you spend 7 mana and you get 15. This is just absolutely ridiculous. And then we get Saint Elenda back. Cube draft. That was fun. All right, 6-1. Let's get one more. Cube draft-tasticness. Nissa has been an MVP in all the decks that I've played her in. Just play her as a 5-drop and make 4/4s and make your opponent answer it. She's pretty hard to answer as a 5-drop. This ends okay. We've got Resto to help us ramp. We've got a 2-drop removal spell. We have something to ramp into. This deck's pretty good, all things considered. Decks that ramp into ETALI tend to be pretty good. Like, you're kind of rolling the dice, but you get a non-land card no matter what. So you're getting a free spell, or 2 free spells. Crazy. I don't need to talk about how ETALI is amazing. I just need to build decks that take advantage of it. Well, that's one Lauren that doesn't kill a static net or an Elish Norn. Davriel. Soul Broker. This card's funny. Planeswalkers you control have +2, draw a card. Exile 2 cards from your hand. That's a pretty good deal for us. Our opponent gets rid of 2 cards in their hand, thinking they're going to draw extra cards from Davriel, and then we get to kill it with Get Lost. Ugh, that's brutal. Poor Unsullied. Well, we did build our deck to make use of Ellis Norn well. Ting, 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 ting. Make a couple Power Stones, gain a bunch of life, get rid of a couple creatures. Next turn, we can drop a ETALI for double triggers. Well, see what we get. The infamous Cruel Claw and an Avacyn's Pilgrim. Let's see what else we get. Hojic, Legion's Valor, Skyclave Apparition. Look at all these fun cards. Oh, jeez. All right, that was fun. I'm really glad they got rid of Grenzo and Breach the Multiverse from this cube, because those cards were pretty unfun. But I will say, ETALI breaches that realm. ETALI's very, very good. This deck was good. We ended up picking up a bunch of ramp pieces. Not many cheap ones, but we had enough life gain and big splashy things that once we did play our 5 drops, 7 drops, we won games. The one game we lost, our opponent stole our Eternal Wanderer. That's 4 trophies in a row. We're on fire.